special episode of Member Talk. I'm Kendall.
And I'm Cameron.
And we are doing a special Christmas episode.
So sit back, relax, and enjoy
the special edition of Member Talk. Adios. Let's go. I have class.
Hey, look who it is. Uh-oh, connecting. Hey, happy Christmas and stuff.
Yes. Can you tell I'm still at work?
You're all festive looking.
Hold on. I might need a cool background.
Oh, well, we'll get you set up.
Hold on. Let's find a cool background. Zoom Christmas background.
I already started our recording, so it's getting everything now. This will be fun.
Great. Thank you. You're so mean to me. I had a family that was like, just walks in and wants to drop all their stuff off. And I'm like, oh, why, thank you.
Welcome to funeral service.
Oh, I know. But I was like, I gotta
Unpredictable.
I gotta go.
Unpredictable as it can possibly be. I love calendars because they mean nothing when it comes to what actually we got to do.
Oh, I know.
I'm putting my phone on mute. I'm not texting while I'm talking to you. I promise.
Yeah, hold on. How do I do that on here?
Down at the bottom, stop where it says stop video. There's a little up arrow. You click that, and it says choose virtual background. Then you can upload one.
Okay, but seriously though, oh, this is a good background. We're gonna go with this.
You find one?
Yeah. Okay.
You don't have to have one. You can do like I am.
It's oh my god, it's so good.
But
okay,
it doesn't show up with my virtual, so you get both. You can have either. See?
Oh, it doesn't show up. Why
I
not?
know. I don't know. It's virtual. I don't know. I don't get it.
So wrong.
We'll switch back and forth.
Okay, wait. I have to remember how to do my stupid screen. Dang it. How do I do it again?
Go down to the bottom. There's a
Yeah,
little
yeah.
thing that says stop video, and then there's an up arrow right next
Oh,
to it.
yeah. Okay.
Then you just got to upload it.
Yeah.
We'll get you caught up with technology before
I know.
long.
I'm such an old lady sometimes. Okay.
What happened to your big skull that used to hang behind you?
I upgraded my room. I cleaned up. Okay.
Yeah. I see you got the Seahawk bins behind you.
The what?
The Seahawk bins.
Oh yeah. Don't be hating my Seahawks stuff, okay?
No, it's good.
Okay.
Oh, I love it. But we don't see your hat now.
It's like if I get closer, you can kinda. There you go. Okay. I like it.
Well, welcome. Welcome to our Christmas episode. This is our very first Christmas episode we've ever done. What do you think?
Yeah.
Ho, 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 and Merry Christmas and Happy New Year's and
Hanukkah,
what
New
else
Year's,
is there?
Kwanzaa.
Happy Hanukkah and Happy Festivus.
Oh yeah.
It's Happy
There's so
Festivus
many.
time.
You got
Happy
Kwanzaa.
holidays. How about
You
that?
got. There's a lot.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Well, I'm excited. I'm excited to get you back on here because you happen to be one of our number one people to come on here. At least we get more people that watch this show. And I don't know why. Maybe it's just because of you or something. I don't know. You're funny.
Crazy.
You're crazy, wacky. That might have something to do with it.
I mean, aren't we all? This just keeps disappearing. There we go.
Oh, there you go. That'll work.
It's not working for me. Okay. I think that it's partially because you and I just know how to have a great time, man.
Must be it.
Yeah. We have a lot
Must
of
be
fun
it. What have you been up to?
working.
Working.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. We are busy. Trying to get all my Christmas stuff done. We working on our giving tree stuff for the nursing home here in one of the nursing homes here in town, which
Yeah.
I don't know how many people do those, but they can be a handful. We had 93 residents at the nursing home turn in Christmas wishes this year. So we've been feverishly working to make sure everybody's wish gets met. So it's been fun.
Gotcha. What kind of wishes are you seeing?
Candy, alcohol, slippers.
Well, you've got my list then, I see.
Yeah.
Candy and alcohol, slippers, I'll take
Slippers.
those.
Yeah, I know. We had somebody ask for some whiskey, and wine is a big popular one. And because they're not full 100% nursing, they have assisted living too. They can have it. So it's been fun finding really random wine labels that are kind of funny and fun to deliver to the assisted living home.
We got to go back to Leavenworth. That's where we got those cool ones at last fall.
Cool.
I
Yeah.
still got them. We should pull them out here. Well, hopefully we'll have a district meeting one of these days where we can give
Like,
stuff away because I've
Give all
got
my
more
wine away I
giveaways.
bought.
I got more giveaways sitting here that I keep tripping over in the office just because we're stockpiling at this
I know.
point.
I
So we
know.
can have it live.
Oh my gosh, but you know what? That means we won't have to buy it in the spring when we need to, or hopefully not any later than that.
Well, that's true. That's true.
It's
Oh well.
done. You don't even have to think about it. Just put it in the car.
Yeah, load it up the car and go.
Load it up. Let's go.
I'm glad you came
I'm
on.
wishing I was actually at this background, by the way.
You were there?
No, I'm wishing I was.
Oh, where is that? Any
I
idea?
have no idea, but you
Looks
know what?
tropical.
I am really jealous of whoever took that photo. It's nice.
Well, it's kind of interesting because it has decorations, and this is Christmas. It's Christmas week. So if you're watching this on YouTube, you're going to see this the day before Christmas or Christmas Eve day. If you're listening, well, you won't get to see any of it and know what we're talking about. So you better also, besides listen, watch it on YouTube. Might be a good idea.
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna want to see this background.
You see how goofy we actually are.
Yeah, that is true.
So what do you think? Let's talk. What do you want to talk about?
I
You want to talk
think-
about decorations? You got
Let's
some decorations behind you. It looks like some lights and
yeah.
and you got
Let's
the
talk
cool hat.
about funeral homes and your decorations. Do people decorate for the holidays?
Some do.
Do
Do
you?
I?
Do you have you asked?
We personally, let me tell you something. Personally, we decorated this year. We got an 18-foot tall Christmas tree sitting in my
Yeah,
living room.
It
that
was
the
the
dog
most
keeps
Charlie
barking.
Brown giant Christmas tree I have ever seen.
It's a stick with like 3 branches. It's
I'm watching you put this thing up in your living room on Facebook, and I'm like, you paid for this thing?
no, we cut it out.
Just stole it from somewhere. It's so ridiculously funny.
We dug it straight out of the ground like Chevy Chase did.
Oh my gosh. That explains a lot.
We haven't decorated that much this year. It's been a difficult year. Like, a lot of you're not having a whole lot of people over or any for that matter. So it's kind of like I've already seen the decorations, so I don't need to see them again.
Every year for
Yeah.
years. Yeah, I did very little. I actually didn't even do a tree this year. I saw one of those actual little Charlie Brown trees they sell at the store that is like a twig with some little tiny branches on it, like a real like branded Charlie Brown tree thing, and I
Yeah.
bought it and I stuck it on my dining room table, and it's about yay tall.
What is yay tall? A foot?
I don't know, like a foot and a half foot. It's tiny. It's ridiculous, and it has one little red Christmas on it. Yep.
Should have bought 18 of them, tied them all together, and you could have experienced the true Christmas tree.
Oh no, I don't want to. And frankly, it's just me and the husband. So why?
Yeah, there you go. Decorating for the holidays is hard, especially at the funeral home. How do you do it? What do you think? What's your thoughts on decorating?
Historically, at our funeral home here, the previous manager would put out a Christmas tree in the chapel in the front corner every Christmas. And then because we deal with such a variety of people, many families would say, can we move this out of here? Like we don't want it in here for the service. So just before I got here, the general manager had decided we aren't doing Christmas trees anymore. And I'm like, well, that's sort of sad because, you know, it's a big thing for a lot of people. So I decided, you know what? She wasn't here to help make me that decision this year. So I bought a Christmas tree.
When
And
the
I stuck
cat's
it-
away, the mice will play.
And I stuck it in the corner of the lobby. And I'll tell you, this year it has gotten a lot of good comments. You know, like, oh, it's nice to see some normalcy, like, you know,
Yeah.
little things like that. We deal with a very large Buddhist clientele here, so most of them don't want it in the chapel.
Right.
So we don't put it in there. So I keep it in the lobby, and it's kind of in the corner and tucked away. And unless you're really sitting over there, you're not going to notice it. So we keep it subtle, and then we put poinsettias out. And I get the white ones because I think they're prettier than the red ones. And they just kind of look nice underneath all the little tables and stuff in the front lobby. And that's kind of it. I keep it very simple.
You know, you said something that kind of made me get to thinking a little bit, caused the wheels to turn a little bit.
Uh-oh, here we
It
go.
brings a little normalcy to this year. I'm almost wondering if, because of what we've experienced throughout this year, if having more decoration in the funeral home might be a little more welcoming than normal, just because of the fact that it can bring some normalcy. However, I get the idea too that, you know, do you really want to remember Christmas as the time you were at the funeral home experiencing the death of your loved one? So
Yeah.
that's a tough one. It's a
Yeah.
tough one.
And it's kind of like that with any holiday, really, right? So like with the Halloween, we try to keep it not necessarily Halloween, but we bring a little bit of fall inside with some pumpkins and stuff. We're not hanging skeletons and gore and it's just that's something you can really get away with. So we don't do that. There are people who do. That's up to them, obviously, but we don't do that here.
Yeah. I went into a place one time. It was actually a cemetery. Walked in the front door and they had it was Halloween, thankfully, because it would have been weird if it was like Thanksgiving or something. But they had a full size skeleton hanging when you first walk in, and I was like, whoa, that kind of shocked me.
Yeah, and you're like,
So
where did
fortunately it was
that
Thanksgiving.
come from?
I almost said it. Fortunately it was Halloween, but yeah, for them it worked, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, and there's that moment where you're like, I'm hoping it's plastic.
Yeah. Oh, where'd that come from?
Ooh, yeah. We just don't do a lot, you know. I've seen some funeral homes out there that do a lot for like Memorial Day, and they have like the red, white, and blue banners, and they're so pretty. And like, we don't put that much effort into it here either. Unfortunately, maybe we should.
Well, Memorial Day is kind of a different animal altogether. I mean, even in the name, Memorial Day, it's a holiday designed for memorializing.
Yeah.
So that's one thing, but you know, Halloween, Thanksgiving,
Do you do
Christmas,
stuff
New
for
Year's,
Easter?
Easter's another one. Yeah, I've seen people decorate for Easter, and it's a little. Of course, it depends too. I've also seen. I knew of one funeral home cemetery combination that did a kids Easter egg hunt at the facility.
Oh, yeah.
Which that was kind of cool. So they did some Easter decorations, but still, I mean, it's you kind of ask yourself, you know, when you walk in, if you're not there for the Easter egg hunt, what's this big pink bunny doing over in the corner?
Went through the Christmas story. He looked like a
That's
pink
a little weird.
nightmare.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I've seen some places do like the Easter egg roll thing for the kids or like the egg hunt thing. And you know, no matter what you do, there's always going to be that person that comes in and complains about it. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, it's the same concept of like when we do Memorial Day and like all the flags go out and like the one person who gets missed and they're livid about it. And it's like, oh, I'm so sorry. We have thousands of flags that get put out. So to miss one or two on my end, I'm like, yes, we only missed one or two, you know, on their end, they're like, it was my one though, you know? And so of course we very much respect that, but it's almost impossible to get them all, especially since not everybody has any marking on their markers as well. So yeah, I think decorating's the same concept though, right? Like sometimes it's okay and you're gonna get complaints, and you just do everything with a little bit of grace, and I think it'll be fine.
Yeah,
I don't
it's
know.
fun. It's fun to see what people do. I mean, that's one of those topics, decorating your funeral home, decorating your facility. That's one of those topics that's really community driven, I would say. If your community's up for it, more power to you. Run with it. If you're not in a community that's used to something like that, and might be a little difficult. I used to know a funeral home that for Halloween, well, the city actually does a trunk or treat type thing, trick or treat type thing for the kids.
I know some funeral homes that do that.
Yeah, and the funeral home, what they did was they actually partnered with a local pizza chain, and instead of giving out candy, they gave out slices of pizza.
That's
so
cool.
when people would walk by going to get their candy, they'd always come there because you're always getting hungry, and who doesn't want free pizza? So I thought that was a clever idea. That was something that I'm sure is still going on today, but I thought that was really a great way to celebrate holidays.
I love that. That's really cool.
Yeah, what are some other holidays you think you should decorate on though? Or not decorate?
I mean, there's St. Patrick's Day, there's Valentine's Day. That's a tricky one, Valentine's Day, right? Like, so most people who come to us and lose somebody around Valentine's Day, the last thing they want to remember is Valentine's Day, right? So that's a touchy one. We don't do much for that at all. In fact, we don't bring it up at all. It's sort of a bummer. But I kind of want to. I want to find a way of like making it's okay to be, grieving and upset on Valentine's Day. There's others that are kind of in the same boat. So yeah.
We have a funeral home here in Spokane that has a big Dia de los Muertos event, and it's decorated pretty heavily for that one day event.
Yeah.
So that's really cool that they kind of captured that a little bit and ran with it, and it's growing. I watch it every year, and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. So
yeah, and if you've got the market for it, it's great. Like you really, we don't do a whole lot of Hispanic culture here or Latino culture here. I wish we did, because there's quite a few of them out here, but I would love to be able to do one of those events. We have done one in the past, and the turnout for it was just not what we needed it to be to make it worth all the effort. So, when you get like 5 people show up and you put 40 hours worth of work into it, it's like, maybe we won't do this again.
Yeah.
But I'm always willing to try something at least once or twice to and sometimes the first time around, the word's just not out and people don't know. So you do it a second time to make sure that you're not crazy and,
I think what we need to do is celebrate the 4th of July with the cemetery. You've seen the fireworks shells that they pack the cremated remains in, shoot them off at the cemetery. Hey,
sign up to once a year be blown up in our property.
That's right. Why not? There's all sorts of stuff that people do, though. It's fun. There's a funeral, or not a funeral home, a cemetery that I know that actually does drive-in movie theaters. Well, granted, most everything is, like pre-COVID. I don't know what they're doing this year,
right.
But the drive-in movie theater idea was really kind of a cool idea. They put up a big screen right out in the middle of the cemetery, and
there you go.
Watch a video. They pop a video up on it.
I've seen concerts in the park.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. They do the big movies at the cemetery in California too.
Oh yeah.
I don't remember what cemetery that's called. I know it's on
Forest Lawn, isn't it? Is it Forest Lawn? Is it Forest Lawn? I don't know. One of the big ones.
I don't know. It's awesome. And the tickets sell out like crazy. Like we've tried to go in the past when we were down there, and good luck. Like unless you live down there, it's tricky to get tickets.
We were like, it is.
Because I thought it'd be so cool to be able to go to a movie at a cemetery, but it didn't work out that time.
Washington's kind of unique though. You got to really plan, unless it's like right at the height of summer, you really can't guess
The 2
what the
weeks
weather's going to
between,
be like on
August
outdoor.
15th and like September 15th. That's like it,
Mhm.
right there. 1 month.
Yeah. If you can plan whatever event it is, if it's outdoor during that month, you have a good shot that it could potentially be nice weather.
As
Any
long
other time,
as it's not Labor Day.
yeah. Any other time, it's a coin
Right.
toss.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah. Yeah, it is what it is. We just deal with it.
Yeah.
You don't count on it ever being nice out when you're planning an event outside.
Especially at Graveside. Those can be boiling hot, freezing cold, in the middle of a blizzard, in the middle of
and
a
it's snowing like
tornado.
crazy, and you've got the pastor that's been talking for 45 minutes, and you're like, could you please hurry up? Because my feet are numb and it hurts. And then he keeps going, and an hour and a half later, family members are walking away. Been there. And I'm like, oh, I can't feel my toes.
What's scary is when you're there and the people start showing up and walking to the graveside and they're bringing their own lawn chairs. And it's like,
It's
what do these
snowing.
guys know that I don't know? How long is this service going to be?
That's my favorite too.
They
Yeah.
bring lawn chairs. I love it. I want to
So
bring lawn
funny.
chairs.
Yeah, I'm like, where do I sign up for that program?
Yeah.
Pretty
Yeah.
sure if I brought a lawn chair to the cemetery, people would be like, what is that girl doing?
This will be fun. Tell me about a crazy service. It doesn't have to be the craziest, but tell me about a crazy service that you were at one time. What took place at it that was so unique or memorable to you?
I have a lot of different types of services. There's the crazy, like, I don't ever want to repeat that ones, because everything that could go wrong did.
Yeah.
Those are the worst. And they always inevitably seem to be when I'm covering for somebody else. So it's not even like my disaster. I'm just owning up to it for somebody else. Like, what the hell? But I think one of my favorite things that we ever did is I had a family that we were working with where dad was a woodworker and had his own shop. And they were like, hey, if we sweep the floors in his shop and bring all the sawdust, can we place it in the vault with him? And so the family all took a handful of this, wood dust and shavings and stuff. And instead of doing ceremonial dirt, they did ceremonial sawdust. And so the smell was so good. It was just really, really kind of touching. And so now they have that whole memory of like, the smell of dad's woodworking is the last memory they ever had with him. It was cool.
That's kind of like the precursor to natural organic reduction, isn't it?
Kind of,
Using
yeah.
wood chips and sawdust.
Yeah, except for he was in a beautiful casket.
Yeah. Well, that's
Yeah.
cool.
But it was
That's
really,
cool.
really cool. That was kind of a neat experience. I liked that. And it was so out of the blue, like, hey, we could do it this way, and everybody jumping on board and yeah. Sometimes you just got to throw the curveball out there and they may bite. And then sometimes they're like, you're insane.
Services are fun. Services can be exciting because you never know what's going to happen. And you just kind of, plan for the best and hope for the best. But there's things that
love
pop
the
up that's
ones
just
that
like, oh my gosh.
Reach out and go, we want to do a toast at the end because, they were a partier and it was really important. Like they threw lots of parties and they would always do a toast at the end of the party or at the beginning of the party. And we want to do that. And I'm like, okay. So we do champagne toasts and, some shots and
Yeah.
like a whole lot of party over here. So, whatever. I'm flexible.
I remember one time I was at a service and it was held in an Eagles Lodge.
Oh, that's a party.
And, well, yeah, and they had to do it. They had to have the service at like 10:30 because the bar opened at 11, and they had to have wait service during the actual funeral.
Yeah,
because that's what they wanted, and so the opening bartender had to get back to the bar at 11 to open up. So it was comical because during the service, people are talking and sharing stories and things. And there was a waitress that was going up and down the aisle, passing out, cans of beer and stuff. And It was back in the days where
10:30
you
in the
could still
morning.
smoke inside bars, so everybody was smoking, and all you kept hearing through the whole service was the cracking of the beer can, and
That's
I
what I
thought,
want
this
my
is
phone like.
hilarious. I love it.
Yeah, no, I want a party like that. Like
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
good
it
times,
was
man.
exciting.
Yeah. I don't want scriptures and sads and crying. I want a big old party. Like big old party.
Well, it can be done.
Yeah.
You know the key
This
to
is
it,
why
though.
we-
Write it down. You got to make sure you write it down so we know.
Yeah, I got one of those personal planning guide things. It's all good.
There you go. There you
Fill
go.
it all in. That way we know
Yeah.
exactly what you want.
People come up with some crazy ideas, though, don't they?
We'll do full on catered, like massive events too. Like just,
Yeah.
yeah, like, oh yeah, it was amazing. So I've seen some pretty crazy things, pretty impressive things too, where you're like, is this a wedding or is it a funeral? I can't tell anymore. There's just like so many beautiful flowers here, and like there was flowers down the actual like aisle of the like chapel, and yeah, it was sort of impressive. I was like, whoa. By the time it got put together, it was gorgeous.
What's a lot of fun for me is I've come to realize that funeral directors, very similar to, yeah, they say bartenders hear everybody's stories, but funeral directors do too. And
Yeah.
what people will open up to you about and start telling you
Yeah.
stories of is, and you're kind of oh, wow, okay.
And sometimes there's stories you want to hear, and sometimes there's stories like maybe we should have kept that to ourselves.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
all
know.
right.
Yeah,
It's fun.
you know what? It's a safe space.
It
What
is.
what we hear, we don't usually. Well, people shouldn't be repeating. So,
Well, we've always said on all these shows, well, not all of them, but we say on a lot of these shows, it's our job as funeral directors to earn the trust of every family member that walks through your door.
Yep.
And I look at it as if they're sharing stories like this with me,
they
we've
trust.
done our job.
Yeah, that's right.
We've done our job. They obviously trust us enough to share these feelings, these stories, some of them are
Concerns.
just wild and wacky.
Yeah,
You know,
some of them are very, very personal.
sometimes they just want somebody to listen to them. And so they'll tell you stories about, whatever. It
Right.
has nothing to do with the funeral.
And his name is Rob.
Yeah. Why is he talking to me still?
He calls constantly.
Yeah, well, that's the way it is. That's how it works. So tomorrow's Christmas. You ready? You excited?
I mean,
No?
yeah.
What are
Yeah,
you guys doing?
nothing.
Hanging?
The normal, like, open presents, and except for my husband's not a good Christmas shopper. I don't know if you have this problem, but mine sure does. My husband definitely does, where he does, I don't know what to get you, so what do you want? And I go, I just want you to buy me something that I don't have to pick out, because it's all I do all day is pick stuff out for people and help people
Yeah.
figure out what they want to do, right? So just freaking pick something for me that I don't have to think about. He goes, okay, well, you want an iPad? And I'm like, sure,
Sure, an iPad works.
sure.
Well, Matt, if you're watching, let me give you some advice. Don't get her a carpet shampooer. I made that mistake one time of getting a carpet shampooer, and what I found out was, no, that's not what you should get
That
somebody
is
for
not a
Christmas.
Christmas gift.
She said she wanted a carpet shampooer. I thought I was doing good.
That is
Oh,
something
well.
for the home, not for her.
Yeah, now you tell me.
Yeah, you should have called. You know that moment where you're like, you call me all the time, you could have asked. I would have
Yeah,
helped.
is this a good idea to buy your wife a carpet shampooer? Let me think.
No. No. No.
And then it broke like 6 months into the having it, so it was no
Even
good.
better. Yeah, you did good on that one. Did you buy it at the dollar store? Gee.
No, I think it was at Sears or something. I don't
Oh,
know.
well, that makes sense.
So I know you guys have these wacky traditions of watching Star Wars for Thanksgiving. What kind of traditions do you do for Christmas? Anything
So we
fun?
always watch the Christmas Story movie, the You'll Shoot Your Eye Out one. It's my
Oh,
husband's
with Ralphie?
favorite Yes, it's my husband's
Yeah.
favorite Christmas movie. So that's what he does first thing in the morning, is watch that.
Do you
And
watch it
then
repeatedly on whatever channel
On
that is that
TBS?
plays it 24 hours a day?
On TBS, yes, he
Is that what it
does.
is?
And by the time we get to the third time around, I'm like, all right, I can't do it anymore.
Yeah, I've seen it. He's already, let me tell you how it ends. He shoots his eye out.
Yeah, and like we're done. We're done. And then he found out this year that you can actually stay the night at the house.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like where they filmed like the actual yeah. There's a museum and you can like stay in the house and it's all set up
Yeah.
just like the movie. And he was like, we have to go. And I'm like, no, I am not driving halfway across the country to stay at some house for the night that you watched a movie about.
Yeah.
No.
How
And
many
if
people have
that's
stayed in that house now?
I don't know.
That
but-
movie's like 30 years old or something.
Yeah, it's old. Yeah. I mean, if we're gonna do that, we should stay at the freaking what's that place called in Tacoma where they filmed Rose Red? Like, do you remember that film, the Stephen King story?
No,
It's at Thorn Castle or something like that, Thornwood Manor or something. Anyway, it's like
sounds cool.
kind of a neat movie. But yeah, I'd rather go there. Number one, I don't have to drive across the country.
Yeah.
I'm not a road trippy kind of person. I can only do so long before I'm like, okay, time for me to be done. Airplanes are better.
Yeah. Airplanes are better, especially now. Road trips now stink.
Because
Everything's closed.
anywhere to go to the bathroom and
I know, COVID. They've closed all the restrooms. They've done, I mean, everywhere
Yeah.
you can stop. It's like, nope, sorry, closed.
right. I know. We were gonna make a trip your direction to see some friends of ours that we haven't seen in forever because we all are funeral directors, so we're all equally exposed.
Yeah.
And we were like, hey, we're gonna come by, and then I looked at it and I'm like, there's nowhere to stop. Like there's nowhere to you gotta eat in your car and get it through the drive-through, and if you have to pee, you better be willing to do it on the side of the road because there's nowhere else to go. And I was like, I know you guys can handle that, but for me, it's a little more challenging. It's not quite that easy. So yeah, we postponed that until we can use a restroom. I was like, I don't understand the restroom thing. It's called clean the bathrooms, people.
Yeah. My friend let me in on a little secret that he does. I was really shocked. I thought this was clever. Instead of
please
rest
don't tell
stops,
me.
no, it's good. Instead of rest stops and gas stations, he goes to hotels because hotels are always open, and they're usually right by the interstate, and they're usually pretty accessible, and they're usually pretty clean. And
Let you in to go to the bathroom. Hey, can I get a room for 20 minutes?
yeah, well, not that kind of hotel, but
Thanks. I didn't even think about that till I said it. Until you pointed it out. Oh my gosh, those are not hotels. Those are
yeah,
not.
no,
those are
different
not-
kind of hotel.
That's not a hotel. That's a motel.
Yeah,
There
no-tell
is a
motel.
difference.
Yeah, no, road trips today are a little difficult. You really got to plan accordingly.
Yeah. I normally prefer flying to begin with. Like, when I come visit you, I make you put me on a plane
Yeah,
because I don't.
that's terrible. I'll come visit you, but you buy me an airline ticket.
You know what? I am.
I think it's what is it, a 30-minute flight?
Yeah,
You're at the airport longer than you're in the airplane.
it's true. You know what, though? I will say the last time when we had to get there early because, all of the restrictions and stuff, by the time it was all said and done, it would have been faster to drive.
Yeah,
I was
exactly.
like, okay.
But think of all the fun you can have at the airport, though. All the cool little shops and the
That are not
the
open.
$17 coffees and the
Well, those you
you
get
know.
everywhere now. It's called
Yeah.
Starbucks.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Well, that's all right.
Last time I went to the airport, I flew so early in the morning, nothing was open. It was so frustrating. And so all that was open was one Starbucks, and the line was like atrociously long. And so there was no way I was going to stand in line that long for that. So then I was like, wait a second, I wonder if they mobile order. Then I totally cut in line because I mobile ordered.
Nice.
It was pretty awesome. All these people were like, oh, it's so long. And I'm like, got my stuff. It was pretty good. Mobile ordering is where it's at sometimes,
Yeah.
especially if you fly for really long. I like traveling at the time of day when I can get alcohol before I get on the plane. That's the best.
Yeah. See, it depends on the airport. Sometimes you can.
Yeah. My next
24-hour
stop that I
bars.
have is in the evening, and so there will be a stop at the bar.
Uh-huh.
Mostly because I'm flying my sister's 6-year-old son back to her. Yeah,
Great.
that'll
That's always
yeah.
good.
Yeah. So
Stop at the bar with the 6-year-old son.
no. So my husband doesn't drink because he's a recovering drinker, and
Yeah.
so I'll be over here. You guys be over there.
You guys just
Oh,
hang
yeah.
over there for me.
Yeah. So they can take care of each other, and then I will imbibe and then meet them at the gates.
Awesome.
Because yeah,
That'll be fun.
sounds like a great plan, right?
And you're
I've
doing this when?
Flown with him, so he's 6.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. So that should be fun.
When is this happening?
Saturday. The 26th.
Oh, yeah. Oh, the day after Christmas.
Yeah. I gotta take him
You are
home
a
because
glutton for punishment.
I know. Well, yeah. So he has to come up here to visit his dad for Christmas. See his dad for the holidays. And then I have to take him home so he can do Christmas at home.
Traveling on Christmas. Airline travel. I learned my lesson.
Kid.
I know. I learned my lesson. We flew one time. I flew with my family on the 24th from Spokane to Anaheim or wherever it is, wherever Disneyland is.
Orange County.
Yeah. Okay. And we flew in there, landed, crazy, wacky time.
Yeah.
Then we thought this will be cool. Nobody goes to Disneyland on Christmas Day.
No.
Let's go there.
No. There are certain days that you don't go to Disneyland. New Year's Eve.
Yeah,
Christmas,
we figured one of them.
Halloween, 4th of July, and Memorial Day weekend. Don't do it. It's so crowded. We did
Oh
New
my
Year's
goodness.
Eve once 4 years ago, because I always wanted to go somewhere and ring in the new year. What a dumb idea that was. So it was so crowded that they were at capacity, right? Full capacity by noon.
Yeah.
You could not leave the park because if you left, you wouldn't be guaranteed to get back in. So you literally were stuck there until midnight.
Yeah.
With a million other people, and there was not a single place to go where people weren't crawling on top of each other. It was the most ridiculous experience ever. I won't ever do it again. But
That's what it was.
that we've done it. It to me makes me feel like that must be what Times Square is, I have no real interest in going there on New Year's Eve. That place looks like craziness.
Yeah.
For those
You
who
get a
have
lot.
done it, comment on how insane that was, because I'm seriously, I don't know how anyone copes with that. And those people are there all day. Nope, not me.
Sounds like an awful lot. I don't know how they're going to do it though this year. Are they going to have
They're
it
not. It's virtual.
virtual?
Virtual New Year's. Rocking in the New Year's virtual from New York
The great
City.
thing about that is you can record it and not have to do it. Watch it the next morning.
Right?
Get a
It's
good night's
here.
sleep.
Staying up till midnight because there ain't no reason.
That's right.
What's really sad is this time last year, we were all super excited to ring in the new year in 2020 and how it was going to be freaking awesome because all the holidays this year fell perfectly on Fridays and the weekends to make sure we had 3-day weekends for every holiday that was cool, like 4th of July and Christmas, and all the big ones fell
What is
on
on?
Fridays, right? So we'd have 3-day weekends. No. Mother Nature had other plans. See, you cannot be that lucky.
I didn't think that far ahead though. I didn't look at all the holidays. I just thought, oh, it's cool. It's 2020. They always say hindsight's 2020 and stuff.
Tuesday.
Yeah, well, I didn't think I should have looked at your calendar a little better because
Yeah.
I didn't realize they were all on Fridays. But that is, yeah.
All of them. Everything fell perfectly to be a real great party year, and then they took it all away from us.
So next year they all fall on what, a Tuesday or something? All the cool holidays?
Saturdays, mostly Saturdays, which is okay, but it doesn't give me
Saturday's
a
not
3-day
bad.
weekend.
Yeah,
Then I don't get the built-in 3-day weekend. See,
that's true. Well,
not that
that's
we get 3-day weekends that often as funeral directors.
yeah. Well, listen, let's go enjoy Christmas. It starts here in a couple minutes, couple hours from now. It'll be Christmas Day.
Do you guys do Christmas Eve stuff? Like, is it a big deal at your house? Because it is at ours. Our Christmas Eve is bigger at our house normally. When we
Depends
can
on the
be
year.
all together. Yeah.
Yeah. Depends
Like-
on the year. Some years, if you know, we've got 4 kids that are home still. And so sometimes they're like, we just need to open one gift. And then one gift turns into all the gifts. And then it's kind of like, what are we going to do tomorrow? And, you know,
Yeah.
so it just depends on the year. I mean, we try to do something. You know, Maria is very, very much into decoration, very much into Christmas, and loves getting the whole house ready to go. I hate it personally because, like, I'm putting it all up, thinking, yeah, a couple days I'm going to be taking all this back into storage.
You know,
So-
don't be such a Grinch.
Oh, that's not a Grinch. That's just being practical.
No, it's being Grinchy. You know, my family is quite Norwegian, right? And so, on
I
my
wouldn't have guessed.
no, so my family, we do everything on Christmas Eve. Christmas Day is like not that big of a deal, right? So we do
Yeah.
everything on Christmas Eve normally. Yeah, not this year though. But yeah, my husband's family are Catholic, right? And so their big thing is Christmas Day. So it actually works out perfectly in my household. Like their family does everything Christmas Day and mine does everything Christmas Eve. So there's no fight about like where we're going. So it
No,
works out
that's
pretty
good.
good. Yeah.
That works out well. You got family, and your family's pretty close, though, aren't they? For the most part.
Yeah. I mean, not so much now. I mean, I have my family that's over on the California area. So Northern California, my family is. And then his family is all in the Yakima area now. So
Cool. Oh, good.
mostly. Yeah.
Yeah. Wait, Yakima area.
Yeah.
That's the Palm Springs of California. So see, you could just go there and get them both done.
But I don't think the person who made that sign has ever been to Palm Springs. So
I
yeah,
went to Palm Springs. Actually, I went to Palm Springs with you,
we went to
and I get totally where they come up with that idea. It's not in the palm trees, though. You got to get the palm trees out of the way.
you got to
But
get out of town.
Yeah, the landscape is
Yeah.
where it came from.
If
to
you
me.
get out of town, it's kind of the same. But the palm trees of Palm Springs don't exist in Yakima.
No.
And the mid-century modern architecture does not exist in Yakima.
That was a fun trip. I'd never
I
been to
know.
Palm Springs before. That was fun.
We
We
went
went
and
to
saw
see
Sonny
Frank
Bono.
Sinatra's grave and Sonny Bono. Yeah. Yeah, that
And
was cool.
Did you ever tell the story about Sonny Bono's grave that when we were there? That my husband had to point out the fact that out of that cemetery, there's very, very few trees, and Sonny Bono is literally buried next to like the only one in that whole area of the cemetery.
That's
we-
called
yeah.
irony.
That I loved it. It was good.
That was a lot of fun though. I had a good time hanging with you guys. We went to that art museum thing. That wasn't really an art museum. I guess it was. It was
Kind
it
of.
modern art, I guess is the
Yeah.
way, but
Yeah.
it was cool. It was fun.
Yep. We went and toured some cemeteries out there too. We always seem to do that though.
Yeah. Got to go to my very first In-N-Out burger.
That is true.
First
That
and only time I've been to In-N-Out. I
It was
still have the
good.
paper hat. Yeah.
You do. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
We got to see some really beautiful outdoor mausoleum placement stuff too, and glass front niches that were outdoors, which I thought was crazy because we would never do that out here.
Yeah.
We just
Yeah.
don't have a way to keep it all clean with all the rain.
Well,
Yeah.
clean and secure, but
Yeah.
the ones we went to were I thought they were pretty secure. They were gated,
Yeah.
small. They weren't big, spread out cemeteries. They were basically like a little building.
Yeah, it was neat, and they were all gated off and stuff. So
Yeah. Yeah. Well, cool deal. Well, listen, have a great Christmas. Let's do this again.
absolutely,
Let's get on and do this again, and have a wonderful Christmas. Do your stuff, and
you
we'll
too.
see you for New Year's.
Yeah, of course.
All right. See ya.
Bye.
Uh-oh. Hold on. I don't know how to stop this thing.
Oh, great.
There we go. I stopped it.